bow our heads. Dear Lord, our gracious Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for this opportunity to gather together with the leaders of our town, with the citizens of our town, Father. We pray that you will be with us during the conduction of your business. Pray that everything that be done in decency and order. Pray that you'll continue to bless this little town and all those who represent it. In the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the minutes. Without having any Need a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second.
All those in favor say
I
aye.
don't have a second. We need a seconder. Who seconded?
Who was second? Who was second?
You say.
You may approve.
I second it.
All right. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Let's vote show the vote is 4-0. For the council was obviously abstaining. Reports. Region 2.
Glad to be with you this evening. I have drawdowns for both the water project and for the wastewater project. For the water project, we have invoices from E.L. Robinson, one from Region 2, and also pay application number 12 from Pro Contracting. The total amount of the request is $63,991.77. Again, that is for the water project. We need a motion and a vote to submit that for
The
reimbursement.
motion that we pay these steps that drawdown.
I'll make that motion.
Moved, seconded.
Also.
Moved and seconded, we pay the drawdown the request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Next is the request for the wastewater project, and I'll bring these all up for signature at the same time. This includes invoices from Dunn Engineers, from Region 2, and from Rover Construction. It's pay application number 4, again, that's on the wastewater project. The total request amount is $106,720.
Motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Moved and second. All those in favor say aye. The drawdowns are approved.
What was the first one?
63,991.77.
Okay.
I know, that's what I just said.
Birthday corn.
I said, that looks nice. Ooh, I can't keep it. No, you don't. She probably don't think my 230's good so true. I'll go find sanitizer. That's what you do to me, see. Felt it. I like felt it. You can keep it. It works. Just lay under it. Well, yeah, I'll have to take care of it. No, yeah.
So I feel one day I reach what she has.
It's gross.
Never touched it again.
That is, okay. Are we on schedule, ahead of schedule?
I think they actually have caught back up in tremendous progress last month. They had had some misgivings because of having to stop school buses to get up and down the street. But that seems to resolve itself.
Okay.
We have a bit of a time extension because that the contract one, which is now plan work, is so long. Coming to be finished.
Thank you very much. Let me just, I will touch the picture so I can get me
Chief ready?
Council, activities report for the month of November 2019. You can see our stats. The same as usual, we had 135 calls of service. We also conducted Shop at the Cop this past Saturday, where we take 21 children shopping, and everyone enjoyed it, the children and all those who participated. We enjoyed themselves. So we'll be able to do the same next year, maybe more for the kids. As you can see in front of you there, there's a couple of awards. One of them is for the police department. We received the Governor's Highway Safety Program Outstanding Department Award. We went to an awards banquet in Beckley Thursday, and the department received that award, and then Officer Stapleton received that award for being one of the traffic enforcement aces for our region.
Yeah,
Justin and
Yes.
Justin. Get all this down there.
Just let Justin hold both of them. No, that's okay.
Maybe the chief. Justin.
You can put it on your.
That's where it was.
Till Dillon's back there.
Put this here.
You'll pay for that.
All right.
Y'all ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Do one more. There we go.
Payback, right? That's
Al?
Yeah.
Very good work. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Represents a lot of hard work, dedication. There's some things in the paper. Media, food too, that's activities going on, drugs, and so forth. Know that we're going to have a couple of places to fill. So this time of year, the things get real tight across Christmas. But anyhow, congratulations, and we're very proud of you guys. I got an email note today from somebody, I don't know who, where they were out of town. Wanted the police to help them do something, and they just had nothing but good things to say, just bragging on you. It's really good to see positive things come your way. But I commend your work and the work of the force. You don't need any
Yeah, that's it. This one.
Thank you, Victor. Okay. Holly? Curry?
I try to be shorter than what Al was, he did this all the time. My guys sort of took a break last month, 46 calves, so they're back down to normal. A month prior to that, they was like 64 calves, they ran themselves to death. That puts us about 502 for the year so far. So, it's pretty big for a little volunteer fire department. So, that's general breakdown on the calls. Any questions on any of that part?
Do you know how that compares to other fire departments in the county?
Everything's running about the same as it has over the years. It's Logan and us and station number 2 at command. It's usually the top 3. On the second sheet I handed out, we've got 2 garage door openers that went down on us. So with the cold weather, I'm trying to make it easy on our guys to remember to shut the doors when they pull the truck out. So got a price, see if there's any way I can get money to replace both of the garage door openers to help out with the heating bill, keeping the doors shut. And the price on that sheet I give you is the price for the 2 door openers and Chris Door Service installing them.
That your work department completely?
Yes. That's the 2 oldest ones left. Once I replace these, then all of them's been replaced and up to date.
We do have money in the fire account to cover the cost of the $900.
We had the money, I'll make the motion again.
I'll gladly second.
I'll gladly recognize those motions. Any more discussion? Okay. All those in favor passage, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. You have it.
Appreciate it. Any other questions or concerns or anything?
Could you give me a copy of that?
I got another copy if you.
Yeah, give me a copy. I'll give my hand.
Okay. That's it. I'll let you go on to the next one.
Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate you guys.
Well.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before you leave. In front of you is a financial statement for the month of November. We're in our 5th month of our current fiscal year. I just did quick math where we are revenue-wise to budget and where we are expense to budget. Our budget for this year was a little over $1 million, $1,034,000. And through 11 months, our revenues are slightly above what we were budgeted, which is a good thing. We knew going into this year that it's going to be a difficult year. The only thing that still is disconcerting, I'm waiting to see what comes in December for our B&O. That's our major, that's 35% of our budget. And right now, that's the one line item that's lagging a little bit behind the budget. But the good news is I took a look at the expenditures, and our expenditures are slightly behind what we budgeted. And that's a good thing too, because when we did our budget, we did knowing that we might have to dip into our reserves. And partly we knew that if we're doing any of the work to this building, a lot of the money being spent out of the Tracy Vickers is money that's already in our account. So that's money that's spent, that's an additional expenditure. We are going to, in theory, lose money on paper. But we are still, through the month of November, showing an $18,000 surplus for the year to date. I like seeing pluses, not minuses. I wish I could say we have a couple $100,000 sitting in our general account. We don't, so we still have to be careful. We're not in a position where we can spend frivolously or anything like that going forward. And the last page gives us an idea. I always try to get an idea what the garbage is doing, just the direct cost of our garbage. What we've taken in the month of November was $18,000. And we paid for our driver, our dump bill. Actually, our dump bill was $9,800, which is low for us. I'm pleased. And he made our garbage payment. So for a year to date, we're showing an operating deficit. But as I said, we've actually got 6 months of dump bills in this 5-month period. We paid 2 months of dump bill in the month of July. So financially, we're not getting worse, but we're still not in a position where we can spend without having to ask questions, do we have the money to spend it? A couple other things that to your attention, we finally did get all the information to the state auditor's office. I actually got a message from Mike Balestra. He's eager to get started on the audit. This click is the state signs off on the contract. That was one of the things, when you do a bid for them, we're doing what they would normally do. They have to approve everything. And then once they knew we had an auditor, I had to send them the whole package so they can say, yes, check, 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 we got everything in order. And I think that the audit will be relatively seamless. And he seems eager, and we'll be able to meet our deadline, because we got to get the deadline audit done so we can meet our grant deadlines for the future grants. And the other thing is Tara Lynn is signing the final contract on the pension plan. We'll be making contributions. I'll be sending that off to the broker tomorrow, and then get that set up. And I think we have 3 months of pensions we haven't paid, so we've been waiting to get this in order. And the first of the year, we'll send out information to the employees, telling them what the deferral that you all have voted on. Because again, part of the pension going forward is you have a 3% direct. Everybody gets 3%, and we'll split the 1% if people want to defer. And I'll put that in writing so everybody will understand it. And I'll have that going out on the 1st of January. Thank you. And I'll grab it. And is there any other questions for me?
Just what I brought up to you about what Logan has done up there.
Okay. I want to know if you want to talk about that here. Actually, Dylan's been on a lot of what Logan's been doing with home rule. Home rule is an opportunity for towns and municipalities to basically to do 2 things. One thing is you can add a 1% sales tax to all tax where there's sales tax charged. And by doing that, you're able to fund certain things. When you go to a home rule, you set up a budget that if we generate $300,000, we have to be able to say, what are you going to do with that money? Is there a need in the area for that money? And then we also have to do a give back to some extent. We would basically look at our B&O rates. Is there anything we want to roll back a little bit to compensate for the home rule? The other thing home rule does is also gives you the opportunity to change your ordinances to do some things that fit us. A lot of times, our council will tell you a lot of what we have to do is antiquated because it's when the state government set up in 1863 and some of it hasn't changed. So home rule allows us to do 2 things. And the process, it's not an easy process, but if you want to start looking at it, Logan will be through it hopefully by the end of at the end of this month. They will work with you all if you want to look at doing that. The earliest we probably would be available to do this 1% sales tax would be for a year, because it has to be in by December for the fiscal year beginning the following July. But what we can do, and that's where we would look at, come up with ideas, how would you want to spend home rule? Or how would you want to spend additional money? It's not like you could say, hey, I have additional sales tax coming in and I want to add it to my budget. It doesn't work that way. You can basically say, I'll earmark that or target that for, let's say, additional police officers. Or we want to target it for demoing buildings. Every town and city in West Virginia has dilapidated buildings. How do you do that if you don't have the money? You can do it, but you have to upfront the cost and tear the buildings down. You can do that with home rule. You can do things, and how do we help with the apple? Actually, Miranda does a great job with the Apple Butter Festival, but we could supplement festivals with the home rule money. So the issue is, if you were to direct us to start the ball rolling, then I would get together with the attorney and then touch base with Logan. And once they get their final piece of the puzzle done next week, I think Amber would love to work with anybody who wants to work, especially in the county. And if we want to do that, we want to get started. So every year you're only allowed to have 4 Class 4 towns. or cities get into it. And we already hear of 3 others. So if we want to do it, we want to do it. We want to make that decision. Let's get the ball rolling, even if, and see if we can get in line to get there quicker, if that's what you want to do.
And you said Man is working on it as well, right?
They are working on it as well.
Definitely be something, I mean, it could help on the retirement issue and anything. Something definitely to look into.
Well, that's, yes, sir.
And this 1% tax, it's not something new, and it's something that many people already pay without knowing. All they have to do is go shop in Charleston or Huntington.
And it's all over now, Joel. It's not just Charleston, Huntington. Everybody up the corridor will be having it. Madison will be having it. The issue is, and what has frightened me forever is that the city of South Charleston has a mall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they have a mall. They have a base that is significant. They didn't have to go through home rule. When it was originally set up, Huntington was allowed to have 1% sales tax. I think you were assisting the governor at the time. 4 cities were allowed to have the 1% sales tax and not have to go through anything. Charleston, Huntington, Wheeling, and I think 1 small town. Everybody else had to go through this home rule process, and you either could have B&O or sales tax. Either or. You couldn't have both. South Charleston got both.
Yes, it did.
And if you ever look in the city of South Charleston, they have the newest fire equipment, beautiful water halls. They pay their people very well. I know they do because I tried to get my son to apply for become a police officer there. All because they have excess monies because of the 1% sales tax.
Pot of gold today.
Yeah, the rich got a whole lot richer. Where Huntington and Charleston needed the resources more, South Charleston just give it to them. So again, the issue is, do we want to do that? It's becoming more known. If we want to do it, we want to do it sooner than later. And then you get in line where we can. But Joel's right. You go anywhere, it's at least 1%. You go outside of West Virginia, it's worse. Especially you go to Myrtle Beach, you go to vacation, you're paying more than 7% where you're going there.
Correct.
But there are things we want to do as a town that we just don't have we had the money, we do certain things. And I definitely don't have the money to do certain things.
I think it's something we need to move on. Get the ball rolling on.
I would like to say this as someone who, and as much as I despise taxes, I realize government only operates by taxes. They don't sell a thing. They don't do anything to generate money but to collect taxes. And if we want to improve this town, we're going to have to do something besides just being another tax and fines and things of that nature. We need something like this home rule. We do need it, and it will work. It will work.
Our economy is changing, and that's the bottom line. The coal economy is not going to serve. My children's children aren't going to be coal miners. So how do we develop an economy differently? We know it's going to be tourism. Has to be. How do we do that? We've got to beautify our town, beautify our area, and the way to do that is to clean up the housing that needs to be cleaned up and do it. But how do we pay for that? That's where the home rule comes in. We can't use that money for that. So I think if you direct Mr. Kinsel and I to get started on it, I think you could direct me to do that, and we can get the ball rolling if you want us to do that.
Mayor, if you would entertain, I'd like to make a motion to pursue this.
Well, I think we could go as far as study it. I mean, I was over there a long time, and I saw the home rule. It took a while to get it passed. There's a reason why. It took a long time to get it passed. And, politically, I think you're looking at a situation where people are going to distrust it because of taxes. So, you know, I don't want to throw any more taxes on people. But I'm not opposed to studying it, you know, see what we can do.
We can come back next meeting, because if nothing else, I can get copies of what Logan did, because they have a booklet.
that they gave for all their council members in the town of Manhattan was asked, and we can bring a copy of that for your all review if you'd like to see that.
That'd be better.
But again, the first step is to direct us to start gathering the data, and if you're directing me to do that, then we'll do that.
And then possibly have public meetings on it.
There's a very specific path you have to go down. So yeah, if we decide and we go down that path, yeah, there'll be specific things and a very tight timeline to get those things done.
What was your motion?
That we at least consider it.
I'll second that motion.
I'm hoping the mayor would entertain it.
Well, I should have did,
Okay.
but it's just to study the idea.
Correct. Motion.
Anybody got any questions, any more questions though, probably? I mean, you're talking about taxes. Look before you leave. Tell you what. You pay, if you stay at one of our hotels here, you pay more. Taxes. Some of it comes back into town. Everything we buy has got hidden taxes in it. And then we pay 6% taxes on every non-food item purchased. And then your income tax, you pay 6%. That's 12 right there. And then your income tax, it comes out to about half of your income. And I would never support this if it would cost us more money. Put it that way.
There's a workshop, there's some certain things along the way, and again, even to get to that point, we can ask for help, again, especially from the city of Logan, and then you direct by the motion, we can get them involved.
Yeah, well, if you can lead us to the right knowledge of it, then I'm perfectly willing to have a meeting. I guess the thing to do is just to go ahead and take a vote on it. Anybody else has any more questions or comments about it? Pretty straightforward, I think, idea. It gives towns more control. More control costs more expense. And it's probably a little bit easier to collect the tax, this form.
Well, we don't collect, the state does, and then they send
It's collected by the state.
it's collected by the state, and they send us a check once a quarter. And again, we always suggest you go put money in a separate account, don't even mix it with the general account. For the same issue the mayor brings up, oh, you're just gonna spend it. No, you have a home rule, you wanna spend it what you told them you're gonna spend it for.
You didn't have to pay back to the state of West Virginia a bunch of money every 30 days for this or that fund or this or that program. I'd rather have, not pay that, have just, they can keep it. It's like, why pay if, don't charge me anything and I don't have to pay, and I don't pay anything. It's going to be free, be equal. It's sort of, that's pie dream, I know, this is a long, tenuous project. And it might be good for businesses. If you know business people close, I would venture that you would like to go see them, see what they think about it.
We can't, bottom line, all I can tell you is we need to get this done by this time next year if we want to get it done to the next cycle. So you have 12 months if you want to do it before the next billing cycle, but that time can slip up on us pretty quick.
It'll take 9-10 months to complete everything.
Well, it doesn't, but when you get when Rob looks at
the public involved and get all your meetings and everything.
When Rob looks at the documents that has to be done, he's going to go, really? Because it's an awful lot of paperwork. But the good news is we can use others, use their knowledge, and that's what we want to do.
Any more questions? Been moved, second, that we study the proposal of becoming a home rule town. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. So we will, if you have any particular interest in this yourself as a councilperson, you know, you can form a committee. Just let me know and work as a group. Okay. Any more questions for Mr. Ballard? I know we're going to discuss this sooner or later, but I didn't expect this time. All right. Thank you.
We're still on the board.
Okay.
And of course, this past Saturday, we had our Christmas parade. It wasn't huge, but everybody had a good time. It was full of heart. Those little kids on those floats had a blast. We had a shopless pot before that. Like Alan said, everybody that was a part of it, it's a heartwarming experience. It's something that if you do once, you want to do every day.
And thank you for sending me those photos, by the way.
And I did not see those in the paper, by the way.
Well, it comes out, well, it'll be in next because I was waiting for the numbers on it.
I'm holding you to that.
But the paper hasn't come out yet. Don't come out till tomorrow.
So,
One-day a week thing.
but the Christmas parade, it was small, but it was nice. Everybody enjoyed it. There was a lot of people in town. Of course, you had people who made their negative comments, but they're going to. The kids loved it. That's all that matters. As far as office-wise, today we went through and suspended probably about 60 licenses. And then we have a stack probably this big to work on tomorrow. We went through and pulled all the tickets that nobody has came in on or has signed an agreement to come in but hasn't came in. So we suspended their license, and that's usually the only way you can get some of them to come in there. And some of them, they just don't even care to come in. And B&O taxes, those will start coming in January. This is the end of the quarter, and then they'll start rolling in January. And Gail will put a little sticker on everybody's garbage to remind them. But other than that,
Okay.
These suspend the license, that was for tickets issued by employees.
yeah, that was tickets that people didn't they either appeared in court, signed an agreement, and didn't pay, or they haven't appeared in court, and it's been in there for 6 months, 3 to 6 months.
Okay, Stacy?
Okay, in November, let's see, the Facebook page, we've got up to 658 likes now, in addition to the rent from Town Pride and West Virginia's Choice, which is $1,825. We brought in $700 in rentals. We had our Veterans Dinner, which is a great turnout. We had lots of community help, we had lots of attendance, and there was a great program and show. We had our story time, which was November. It was actually 3 times bigger than the previous month, with 25 kids here and 10 adults. Our pre-K visited and made crafts about being thankful with our seniors. On Friday, November the 8th, I was invited to WBOW. I discussed the community center and some of the upcoming events that we've had. I did share that link. If somebody wants to hear that they didn't hear that, I did share that on the Tracy Vickers Community Center page. Our seniors had their Thanksgiving dinner, and I turned in some information for WSAZ Children's Charity Grant, and the community center was selected for that. The amount is for $500, but one of the board members asked that be increased to $1,000. The grant will be used for story time and some of the community activities that I've started here at the center for local children and families. But while doing that process, we ran across that the community center did not have its own federal ID and tax exempt. And for this particular grant, we have to have our own ID and tax exempt, aside from the town. The process for that has been started. I was instructed to speak with Rob, and we talked about we're going to work on the bylaws and stuff. So the process for that is started. I've seen in the stuff for now that needs to be seen in for the grant, and we're trying to make it a timely process just so we don't lose the grant. And then I talked with Jeff Allen. He's going to help me once the bylaws are established. He can kind of take the reins on it to get everything with the Secretary of State and the tax department. But so far, everything's in the process that we need to be doing. The seniors are going to be treated to Gaddies and Christmas lights in the park this Thursday, December the 12th. Pride's going to pick them up. And then on Friday, December the 13th, they are going to be treated to dinner at the community, or at Pride Center in Logan. And then they're going to be going to Charleston Coliseum to see the Gators and several others that's going to be in concert. Pride's going to take them there also. This Saturday, December the 14th, from 9 to 12, the Chapmanville Women's Club has teamed up with the town. They're having a pancake breakfast with Santa Claus here. Story time is scheduled for Monday, December the 16th at 6 o'clock. We've got, some different things planned for the kids to do with that. The fire department will be here using the tables. We asked last month if they could use the tables for the toy drive. Because of more space, they can get the presents, rolled out of here quicker. And they have a lot of presents to wrap. They're going to be here on Tuesday evening, December 17th at 5 o'clock, starting to wrap all those presents. Because I'm pretty sure it's Friday and Saturday that they're going to be delivering those out to the town and the community, to the kids. We have a Christmas party that's scheduled on Friday, December the 20th for the Tracy Vicker Center and the seniors and the town together. So if any of you all are out, feel free to stop in and have lunch with them. The seniors decorated our Christmas tree. I want to make sure that I say Gary Bledsoe did donate this tree back here. The seniors decorated both of these. On Friday, December 27th, since it's going to be winter break, I'm going to have the center open with, I'm going to have several games out and activities. The center's just going to be open for kids, families, whoever wants to, just to stop in to use them. I will be playing the movie, but I'm not going to advertise that because, I might be playing the movie, so I won't advertise that. But, and then if that goes well, I'm also going to do the other Friday that they're going to be off, which is January the 3rd. The seniors did sponsor 2 kids for the weekend project. Joel had asked for any of them that wanted to give a donation. He was needing 1 child sponsored, and within just a matter of minutes, they ended up being able to sponsor 2 kids. So that's 2 more kids that sponsored for that. And then I was contacted this weekend by Valerie Bosley and Elaine Perky. They are wanting to do the Friendly Neighbor Show, the Wallace Horn Show here. That's kind of penciled in for February. I'll continue to update everybody on that, but they would like to make that an open community event, invite local bands, local singers to come to participate and be a part of that. They were given the key, from what I was told a couple of years ago, key to the town for the Friendly Neighbor Show. But in our meeting, we had Mayor had decided that for the first one that it would be something that they could come to have an open event for the town, and then if it's something they want to continue here, we'll revisit, if there's going to be a fee and stuff for them. And that's all of mine.
Any questions? Anybody? What's y'all say? I don't have anything particular to present on the water department. Except they meet Thursday at 4. And Joel, Great Canal, Reserve, Conservation and Development Organization. Sounds like an Indian tribe.
Rather interesting what you can find out. How many people know that you can get certified with sycamore tree? Like maple syrup. You can check it out. RONK, R-O-N-K, Farm. It's all Facebook. It's supposed to bring me some. We have a meeting again tomorrow. First meeting I learned, pardon me, we have been approved for a grant. If you remember, we talked about doing a little community vegetable type garden out here. Been kind of waiting to make sure that we have the right to construct something like that along the right of way out here between the road and the railroad tracks. If we do it sort of in between those posts, which you'll see out there for the parking it, we can put them there and allow plenty of room for the apple butter parking as they marked it off this past year for employees and volunteers and what have you. We can put a number of them out there. The original grant is $600, and tomorrow we're going to apply for considerable more. The partnership will be with, of course, the town, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Pride, and then the community, whomever would like to come and help. Different types of vegetables and things of that nature. The one thing that we will have to do is the grant that I'll be applying for the town and the Victor Center, we have to, it's the only catch to these grants. We spend the money, then we're reimbursed when we provide them with the receipts. We keep track of the volunteer hours, things of that nature as well. We get credit for that. But it eventually would, and I think that with what we have coming in from Pride, what was it, $1,200 for the year? How much have we
I
spent?
get a $1,200 community allowance, and the only thing I've spent, it's about $325 out of that so far.
Yeah, so we've got around close to $900 there. That would buy more than enough material to begin construction. But I do need approval from the town, from the council, to construct out there. And Robin, I don't know where your lease starts. You're probably more familiar with what's out there than I
All
am.
the way to the road, I'm all the way to the road, but I already told you to use it, it's fine.
You got to the next intersection of it? Oh, okay.
But it's fine, you don't have to worry about it, use it.
It will be, and to calm your fear about parking, the boxes that I would like to construct will be no more than 2.5 to 3 feet wide, and the length would be in between the poles out there already, so that would give you plenty of room between the road and those boxes. We only have to be 27 feet from the center of the railroad tracks to be on railroad property. I do know that. But other than that, I haven't anything else for me.
I thought that railroad line was 40 foot on either side from the center.
No, 27. You know, I work for them. I work train many a time. The excavator, when it would be sitting on the flat car, the boom could not, as far as they would reach, would be 27 feet in the center of that track. To do
Maybe it's on account now, it used to be a double track, well, there's not anymore.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
Few people can remember the double track through town, but one time there was double track through town. There is talk and consideration now, and hopefully it will come to pass, that when the water project begins over here for the wastewater, the contractor has agreed, since he's already over there, he's going to upgrade or create better access to the guy involved right at that area. The access we have now, which is across the river, it's just not very secure. I wouldn't want to leave my vehicle over there while I went kayaking.
It's too steep too.
And it's rather steep as well, yeah. So we're looking at that. That's something they can help us out with. There's also another organization that's going to get on board. See what we can do to bring a little bit of the kayak tourism down this way.
Did you say you had information for something?
I wanted to get permission, I just didn't want to go out there and do that, construct those things out there. So we can buy, we can draw up plans, take a few pictures, at least buy the material.
You need a name for
Yeah, I would like that. And bring, and Robin has agreed to allow us to use that property. Sometime or another, if you don't mind, tell me how much the lease is for that for a period of time.
Don't worry about it. Use it.
Just an offer.
That kayaking's easy going down.
That's why you do the kayak. You get with the boat.
Where would you come out at?
All right, let's go up here to the farmer's market. All right?
Yeah.
We park there, drop everybody off with the kayaks. All right? Then you follow me down here to where we're going, as far as we're going to go. We park the other vehicle, then we go back up to farmer's market, get the kayaks, float down through here. And it's a two-party thing, unless you've got somebody to transport. That's where Jack Baston does well. Very well, he does transport. Yeah, it's not easy kayaking back against the current. They paddle. You ever seen them use the push rods where they push? Yeah, I had to do that one time on this bird.
Okay.
Christmas lunch.
Needs a motion.
Do what? We have a motion on the floor.
He needs to get it back. Okay, do you move?
I would like to get a motion to go ahead and proceed with this and using this stretch of property right out here.
So you're building a square foot garden, is what you're building.
Wait,
I'll make that
Garden and
motion.
vegetables for the whole community.
I'll make that motion. I second.
Move to second. What's the budget? How much is it going to cost?
I'll tell you, I don't have that with me. I know it's been submitted. Maybe Stacy can recall what we just kind of briefly looked it up on Lowe's website, like what the lumber would cost, things of that nature. Then we didn't proceed further with it.
What did it say?
They even had kits with Pride offered to give us some that they already had.
Yeah.
So we didn't go any further.
but you got $600 from the spring.
I've got, they will reimburse, and I'm going to apply for more. Most you can apply for is $3,500. We were pretty much in agreement, we would apply for at least $3,000 and whatever. They're real big into this. It is.
Okay, I just want to know a bit about your figure.
You want me to give you a budget that I think would be in reason? for
Just
the
tell
whole
me
thing?
off the top of your head how much you think it will cost.
I do not see it exceeding material and all $2,000. I do not, and that's for all the material. We'll have to buy, I don't know how many bags, topsoil, things of that nature. I built one large one up at Justice Grade. I probably had lumbered on $400 in that, and but I mean it's standing. It's been there for 8 years now. We're still using it.
So we need to set a budget, you know, just an amount you can't exceed.
I agree.
And,
Say $2,000.
you said $2,000.
I will stay within $2,000 on this monthly space. There we go, I got a nod.
She's not sure.
Anybody else got any suggestions about the budget part? I need an amendment to that motion that we establish a budget of no more than $2,000 for this project.
Is that okay?
I'll make that motion.
You'll
And
amend
then you'll
that?
second it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of this motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Or opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Did you all not vote?
I did.
Did you vote?
I think I may need to abstain,
Okay.
since he's going to use my employee.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side.
Well, if you, speak loud, okay?
So be looking for, hopefully by springtime, to have some spring onions, maybe a little bit of lettuce, things like that, and then later on tomatoes, who knows what.
I'll help, but I can't plant them. I'll feel it if I can. My thumb's black.
We've already talked about the seniors, town employees luncheon, I believe, have we not?
Well, we did in the other meeting.
Okay.
The ones that weren't in that.
Who's doing that? Stacy? Stacy?
Yeah, the seniors and the Vicar Center and the town, the employees and the police department, everyone's welcome for a Christmas luncheon. It's gonna be December 20th at 12 o'clock. And I've got a menu going around, and the seniors, I mean, stop in and eat with them there. They can cook better than the best, so.
Just like a church dinner.
Y'all come. Okay. Access to town records. Terry?
Okay, we store our maps, all our financial records and everything are being stored upstairs. We have a wonderful place to store them. And we asked Steve to install a key. Anybody is able to go up there and have access to them, but the only thing is they will have to go with either Miranda, Gail, or Kathy, because in the past, some of the things have disappeared. So we've had maps that's disappeared, records that disappeared, ordinances that have disappeared. So if anybody wants to go look at them, that's fine, but one of the town employees must accompany them up there.
Oh, what, do you take in consideration on that storage being up there?
Well,
That if there was to ever be, and there could be, and we don't know, if there was a fire, and all those records got destroyed in a fire, what is the best place to even keep something like that? You know, we've had courthouses before that got burned and destroyed.
well, they have the flame retardant sheetrock. That's good for, I don't know how many hours. Ben, you probably know. But that increases the, where's Tommy? Tommy knows.
How much?
What does that increase it by?
It just depends what type you buy.
But they have that.
What type you buy and how you install it.
How much heat can that stand and how long a period of time before it would eventually burst into flame itself?
That's what I say, it depends what you buy and how it's installed. It all factors in to give what you're asking for.
Well, what you bought is, what they're doing now is already up there, isn't it?
No, it's not fire resistant sheetrock, it's just plain.
Yeah, no, it is in the, it is.
I don't
in
know
the-
what he bought, I don't know.
Yeah, it is in the records part,
Okay, I
not the
don't know.
whole upstairs, but just records.
Yeah, I don't know what was bought.
What kind of
was bought.
degree, how much degree would you think it would take before that would burn?
Like I said, I don't know what they bought to even answer that correctly.
Different ratings on them.
Yeah. If I give you an answer now, it might be a totally wrong answer. They might bought something different, I don't know.
Anyway, I think it's something to think about, you know. where you keep them at, how handy would it be if you had to rush in and get it, or just anything about it at all, instead of, a lot of things can be destroyed by water itself, you know, instead of just the fire. I mean, it's just something to think about inside, that's just stored in a box and set it over in the corner, you know.
Well,
Man, you take in all consideration.
a lot of it is online. Not all. So, we might need to get somebody that's pretty good at that type of finish the job. I don't know how much is online. I know when I first became mayor, we were putting some things, they were putting some things online in, and we just did the rest. But that's the safest way. I don't guess it's any perfect, 100%, but put them online and read. Thing is, we've had people, I don't know why they would want to take documents like that and scan with them, but they've done it. They want to, you know, whereas you pass an ordinance and this person's against it, well, the way they defeat it is steal it after you put it on record. So, you know, we just need a little more security right out there. And what we need down the road is to continue to get this material shot, copied, put on microfiche or something.
Not only that, and I don't want to talk about creating a bank vault there, but is there any way we can create some sort of, I'll ask Tom this, any way to create some sort of fireproof box or room? Any idea what something like that might cost? And we don't need to, I don't think we need to every garbage bill or receipt or anything of that nature, but some of the stuff we do need to.
You can either build a
have
room
records
or
of.
buy fireproof file cabinets.
For, and with a lock, for things like ordinances, minutes of meetings, things like that, keep it for a period of time.
Yeah, it's a continuing situation. I really might make a recommendation, but I know we do have a little problem there. So I'm thinking what steps we can take to secure the room where we put these. Those people who just can't walk in and grab a room. Right?
Randy's always talked about the meter taxes, so we didn't see.
Yeah, we need to set commercial rates for garbage pickup.
Okay, there is in your report, your orange folders. The one that we discussed previously is on that page, and Mark, if you want to, I'll let you look at my copy, come and talk to the thing about this one. We talked about this before.
Okay, we discussed a few months ago, back in August or something, about doing a commercial rate increase. We decided 2, 3, and 4 times a week instead of all customers having a 3-day-a-week pickup. We got 2, 4, and 6-yard dumpsters. There's a lot of customers chose 2 days, because a lot of them don't need 3-day-a-week pickup. The fees is not as high as waste management, Waste Management, I did actually call and get a price on theirs. Theirs is almost double what these are. So a lot of people's complaining about them being high. They really ain't that high. I think they're pretty, actually decent. A lot of people don't want to pay the high rate. A lot of them saying they will go to a smaller dumpster.
It's good, pay the rate, the small
Right.
rate.
That's what I told them, but I had one actually tell me that they'll do away with the dumpster and just pay for a hand pick rate. And take their own garbage up to the dump.
We gave, this is done back in March, and we we sent out letters to all the business in town. And we gave them a form to fill out. So they chose what size of dumpster they had or they wanted. And then they also had the choice of picking up their trash twice, 3 times, or 4 times. The response wasn't great, was it? We had a few that signed up, but most of the businesses didn't return their forms. So the problem is we know what a few businesses want, how big their dumpsters are, how many times they want picked up. But what about the commercial customers who have not returned their forms? They've had since March. So.
I'll be more glad to take more forms around. I know Wendy's, when I took it into Dottie, she told me that she had to send it into the office. And I don't know if they ever sent theirs back. She's the only one that told me that she had to send theirs into the office. Everybody else, Marathon filled theirs out and handed it right back to me. Hardee's, Giovanni's, I think they mailed theirs back in instead of handing it to me. Huh?
I went to Giovanni.
Did you get theirs? Rite Aid gave me theirs. Town and Country, I think gave me theirs back.
But it's-
Gino's gave me theirs back.
Does everybody have a copy of the proposed rate?
But there is a lot of them that,
Do you think?
Out of all the businesses we had, there was no more than 15 or 20 that turned in back.
Okay, you have, so everybody here's got a copy of the proposed rate increase. See anything in that would cause you to push the red button, stop button? This is not residential now, this is just commercial. And there's a lot of inequities in the commercial system that we're using now. And it's not fair to business, actually. And we can set the rate, and you know, those that might have something to say about it, they can come and talk to us. But we need to go ahead and just set the rate. You know, we've given them the opportunity to respond, and they responded. That can't stop us. We can't let that stop us from doing what we have to do, which is number one, make it fair to everybody. Make these rates fair to everybody and fair to us, because we have to keep picking up the garbage and we're hauling it off, and they're charging us more, the people that haul it off, and so we need to make it fair. In some cases, their bills will go down because they've been paying too much, and that was one of the big reasons why we started looking at it. But it's not going to kill anybody, you know, but I want to be able to put it out there by the first of the year.
since I've been here, the dump fees in 3 years, the dump fees went up 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah, it's now $86 a ton to dump.
What was it when we started?
60 something.
So we raised $23.
Yep.
Why? I mean,
That's just like land.
it's what it costs, but I was not pointing, what my point is, we have to pay somebody to haul that stuff to Kanawha or
Yep.
somewhere, and that price goes up, and we have to pass that price along to the consumer. That's the question, is why do we have to do this kind of thing? Because they're charging us money, we have to get it back from the citizens. And Anytime somebody throws a piece of paper in a dumpster, doesn't know that dumpster is actually charging you money. So, that's what we gotta do.
You need a motion.
Are we moved?
I would like to ask, I would like to make one thing perfect, clear out, Mark. You did go with waste management rates, and we are cheaper.
Yeah.
Even with these rates here, we are cheaper and competitive with waste management.
Oh, yeah, 8 yard 3 times a week, we got 600. Theirs is $814 a month.
Just wanted to make that clear. Gordon?
If somebody wants,
I'll second it.
Who made the motion?
second by Rob. Any more questions? You got any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. I assume we got those work over there.
And this will start January
Start
1st.
January 1st, so we need to make a public notice of that. Personnel manager salary.
It's in this one.
Oh, Christie, just tell us about it. Why you think, Dave?
And we always run an executive session.
It's surprising.
Yeah. Okay. For the past couple of years, we've been giving the town employees Christmas bonus, and it's based on years of service. If you look in your orange folders, the rates are there. The amount of the bonus per person is there. You don't have any place these for you. I thought we were surprising you. I didn't know. Come on. So, I didn't put in yours there, Stacey. The total package of the bonuses for the 12 town employees is $1,850. Those that work less than 1 year get $50 bonus. 1 to 5 years is $100. 6 to 10 years is $200, and 11 years plus is $300.
Make a motion. I'll make that motion and we get this.
I'll second.
Well, thank you very much.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Very happy. Appreciate your years of service. Public comments.
Mayor, one last thing, I've given Terry Lynn
And that's in your.
3 estimates, they are all in there for transmission for the
It's in
F-150,
your orange folder.
which is also used for the solder on the F-150, so if we have snow, it's not gonna be soldered until that truck goes, unless we go through it with a bucket, salting the sidewalks and all that way. The first estimate you all had for a marathon was for $23,2405. That was a rebuilt transmission and just a warranty, probably the 30 days that they get when they bought it. Riverside had 2 estimates, one for a brand new transmission of $2,151 with a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, or a rebuilt transmission, a used transmission with just 6 months warranty for $1,890.
Which truck is this?
This is for the gray F-150.
Is that the one we recently bought?
No. The GMC is one you recently bought. This F-150 is what the summer crew uses for when they're cutting the grass and doing all that work. And it's the truck that I use in the winter to spread salt through town, salt from State Road.
And the
snowplow.
Marty? Definitely gotta have it.
I gotta have it, definitely. It benefits the town just as well as it does me.
Okay, entertain a motion.
Well, we have 2 bids here.
You got 3.
You got 3. 2's at Riverside and 1's at Marathon. And Marathon's was $23.24 for a used with probably a 6-month warranty. And then Riverside had 2 estimates. One for a brand new one at 3 years, 36,000 mile warranty at $2,151, or a used one with 6-month warranty for $1,890.
What do you recommend?
I recommend the new one because from what I can hear on them, if you buy a used one, the same thing is going to happen to that as happened to this one. And he
I'll
said they
make a
just all
motion,
do
we do
that.
the Riverside with the new one. Those boys do real good work.
They have a warranty, right?
Yes,
Okay.
36,000 mile one.
yes.
Okay, did you get that, Terry? Who, second by who? Moved and seconded to accept the bid from Riverside
Right.
Riverside.
for, what do you want to do? Transmission? Replacement of the transmission. Those in favor, any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Okay. Anybody else will speak?
I got a couple of things. I talked to Mark about some mattresses that I guess the motel down here and took it upon themselves to bring down to the foot of the hill to sleep, and he's going to get rid of those. And I saw a little problem down there. The state road done us a real good job cutting that brush beside the old Mountaineer Pharmacy through there, that little creek. But they laid it down in the creek, and that's flooded really bad in there before. We might need to get these boys to either pile it up or toss it up out of there. Because if the water gets up, it's going to stop it up, and there was a bad flood.
Well, they cut a bunch of weeds in there already.
Well, they cut the small little brush and just dropped it right in the creek, so it's going to prevent a problem. That's all I've got.
Talking about power springs?
No, down here, it was coming off the hill right there beside the old Mountaineer Farm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I talked to Brian Carpenter and asked him about how the things was coming with the grant. And he said that he's got some promising leads on some for town equipment upgrades, recreational funding, some for police and fire equipment. It's going to be great. He's working on it, and hopefully the next meeting, he can come and present what he's got, and where he's going with it. So it sounds really good.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for letting me speak here tonight. For the ones that don't know me, my name is Margitta Mazzocchi. And I want to ask you a question before I start. Who likes to go to Charleston? And work? Now, I want to go to Charleston, and I want to work. I am a candidate for the House of Representatives, and I want to go and work for you. I want to share with you 3 points real fast, a little bit about myself, a bit why I'm running, and how you can help me so that I can help you. I came from Germany, so you know, you hear that on my voice. Some of you all already know me for a long time. I'm living here for 20 years already, and I came here legally. So that is something. I have my husband here, who is a 20-year veteran, and he served in Vietnam. And he was in Germany picking me up there, and he brought us over here. And actually, we got married right down here in a little church, in the Church of God. So we raise our children here. We have small businesses, and we are working real hard. So in January of 2017, I swore an oath that I would
support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, and I would give up all other rights because I became a United States citizen. So, and that brings me to why I am running. We just came back from Germany last year, and over there, you don't know, you really don't want to know what's happening over there. And we need to see the bigger picture. What will happen if we don't stand up and do what is right over here? I want to see this area prosper, and I want to be a good representative. I want to be responsible and reasonable, but don't think that because I am nice that I will not fight. I will fight, and I will get my tiger claws out. We are here. This is my hometown. You all have my heart, and I want to see this area grow, and we need jobs and education and taking care of our people. And that includes the recovery people. I'm working to celebrate recovery at our church. Did now for 6 years. Those kids, and I call them kids because at some point they stop thinking, and they need to have help. So we need to help our community, and we need to get it all right, and we need to get up. And this brings me to the next thing. How can you help me to help you? First of all, you have to decide to go vote. If you want to go vote for me, you have to be able to vote in a primary. Please go and vote in a primary. You have to be at least a no party or independent and ask for a Republican ballot, and then you can vote for me. And then sign up on my campaign to get campaign posters. I have a list here with me. Visit my Facebook page. It's called Mazzocchi and then the number 4 WV. Like it and share it, please. We need to plaster it all over Logan County, Boone County, some parts of Wyoming. Visit my webpage. Make some donations. Every $5 help. It is important that we get the mailers ready because not everybody is using Facebook, right? So we need to collect some money and get that going. Help me to make contacts. I love people. I love talking to people. I want to hear from them. I want to learn and listen, and I hope that I listen more than talk. But I want to ask lots of questions, learn everything about it, and in closing, I have chosen to live here. I raised my children here. I am involved in a community and church. This area has my heart, and I need your all's help. I can't do it by myself, but I'm not taking someone's spot. But there is a free seat in the house, and I am willing to serve. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them afterwards. You can reach me on Facebook or on the phone. And I thank you so much, and you all have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Anyone else?
I'll make a motion.
I have one executive session issue that take 2 minutes, that's all.
Oh, you promise. The curse of Oak Island's coming on.
2 minutes.
We're gonna find something
To
tonight.
make a motion to go in executive.
If
If nobody else calls us and just let me say my piece, it'll be 2 minutes.
We gotta wait on Rob. The 2 minutes just went down to the top of the writing sheet.
Who seconded
Sure.
that?
It's on your motion.
Tommy.
They're gonna find something tonight.
Okay, let's go. Let's go quick.
Okay.
I just have one question.
Payroll.
It was motion. The mayor would like
Tony makes the motion. No, you wanna make the motion?
Wait a minute, I make a motion that we come out of executive session.
I'll never forget it.
I will.
Gore. I'm gonna report on you guys, say thank you.
Tony made a motion to come out of executive session. Robin, second. And no votes were taken, no business conducted in executive session.
I'll make a motion, Who made the second?
Robin, I second.
Ian seconded.
Oh, Ben.
The motion passed.
Amen.
Amen, aye.
We'll find out tomorrow. We're out here before 9 o'clock. How about